Fox and Friends did a story about a Fox News poll, and then basically said, don't pay attention to that poll. We don't really think it's a good poll to look at. Their own poll. This is so funny. This is from Fox and Friends outlining how in Florida, Ohio, Virginia, in so many swing states among likely voters, President Obama is taking a significant lead, and then basically saying, forget about that poll. Take a look at this. This is incredible.
News polls give President Obama an edge in 3 key swing states. He's up 5 in Florida, 7 in Ohio, and 7 in Virginia, but that's with all likely voters. Once you isolate voters who are extremely interested in the election, the race is much closer. And with those voters, Mitt Romney is down just 2 in Virginia. He's tied in Florida, and he takes the lead in Ohio by 1. And we just found out Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan are heading to Ohio for a bus tour at the end of, or rather at the beginning of next week. Monday they'll be in Lima. Tuesday they'll be in Cincinnati and Dayton.
So first the thing they do is they isolate out. They're like, listen, it's really not looking good, but if you only look at voters that are extremely, what was the term? If the voters are extremely likely, then it's much, much closer. Right, because likely voters don't vote. Only extremely likely voters vote. Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I don't understand the reason for pointing that out. I don't see how
it's to make it seem closer.
Of course.
And then here's Gretchen Carlson. This is how Gretchen Carlson responds to this. I love this.
I think one of the first times that we should look at the polls in real sincerity is after 1 or 2 of the debates. Because hopefully the 2 candidates are going to be talking about the issues that the American people want to hear about. And hopefully the questions will be fair to both parties.
So it's an interesting point, right? I mean, she's saying...
She's 100% right, though. That is a valid point.
Well, but it's a valid point. But the thing is, so you can't consider your own company's polls real sincerities because the debates haven't happened. But Natan was just talking to me before the show about how when you look at the polls right now and compare it to how the election turns out, almost always accurate. Weren't you saying that, Natan?
Yeah, I mean, what she's making a good point in theory. In practice, it doesn't really matter for 2 reasons. One, the aggregate of the polls show Obama taking a lead nationally and in all the swing states.
Right.
And then separately, like you said, there's a correlation between, 50 days out of the election, who's winning, and then who finally wins the election.
No, it's perfectly reasonable what she's saying in theory, but it's just funny that it's her own polls that she's saying, we don't really want to pay attention to these. It's only my employer that did them.
That is strange. I think little does she know that Obama is going to widen that gap after the debates.
Can you imagine what would happen on Fox News if President Obama is reelected?
Yes. It's going to be chaos. I mean, are they going to start saying it's the end of the world, or are they going to start thinking about the next election? Are they going to start touting Republicans for the midterms?
I don't know. I think on November 7th, Fox News is going to be interesting to watch no matter what happens on November 6th. That's my sense.
It will be